Hello, your favorite nasally piece of shit is back. Anyways, well, for you guys, it's been like a week, but for me, it's been like, I want to say a couple, because I record these videos multiple at a time. Did a little bit of decorating off stream, but yeah, I've been busy. I recently applied for a part-time job just because I want to have a good safety net for content creation and stuff like that, but I figure I should keep up with this because it's something that I want to do for myself. I need to keep a consistent schedule and whatnot. Um, and a lot has happened since, but I figure we should just start the Q&A. You know, just get shit going. From I underscore am underscore meme, is there a specific part of creating music that you enjoy more than any other part? For example, recording, writing. My favorite part of making music is recording the demo, because once I'm done with the initial writing phase, it's really fun to just hear how it sounds on paper, like, or I guess off paper, you know. It's good to hear how it sounds as a concept before, you know, we get the final recordings done. I think my favorite part is recording what I wrote and hearing how it sounds. From Harry Elliott 1232, have you watched the Walton Files? Yeah, I have. Actually, that's oomph. They follow me on Twitter or whatnot. I think that shit's really cool to this day. From Ian, I'm not gonna try to pronounce the rest of that. What might be your least and most favorite battle you've done? My least favorite battle I've done has to be the original Mr. Peanut versus Kool-Aid Man, which is why I remade it. I mean, I wrote most of it when I was 12, so, like, you know, go figure. But even shit I wrote when I was, like, 10, like Michael Phelps versus Jason Voorhees, is unironically better than that. My favorite one is Mysterio, because I got to play Mysterio myself, and that's one of my favorite characters of all time, and I would love to do some stuff like that again, because I just had a blast working with that. And the Stupendium was just wonderful to work with. It was a huge bucket list battle for me, and it's unironically like the best battle I've done. From Mad Cookie 14, your top of best TV shows in your opinion. I probably read that wrong, but I'm gonna throw some out there. The Sopranos, Dexter. If we're talking cartoons, I love Gravity Falls. I've watched it maybe 13 times. Regular Show. I love Smiling Friends. Anybody who follows me on Twitter has probably seen the fucking clip farming I've done. You know, I don't watch a whole lot of TV shows as much as I watch movies, but also BoJack Horseman, and another one I want to throw out there, Moral Oral, is fucking incredible. I love those so much. From Barry Lander 8317, are there any characters you're straight up against using and why? Anybody from Class of '09. I genuinely hate Class of '09 with a passion. For multiple reasons, but the not personal one is it's just straight up garbage. It's not well written. I don't like anything about Class of '09. It is my nemesis media, if you get what I mean. From Symbiotic Spider 9729, who would you want to collaborate in the community? What's the first fan-made battle channel that inspired you the most? I'm gonna say my biggest inspiration from like rap battle channels growing up was Uberosity, and in recent years it's just been, you know, people that I'm surrounded with, like my friends. I'm super inspired by their creative processes, like Fight Marker, a good friend of mine. I'm inspired by him a lot. I love his stuff. I love the dude in general. He's a great guy. Who would I want to collaborate with? Honestly, just more of my friends, honestly. Like the Fight Marker, like, you know, circle, and the, you know, Freshie Canal circles. Those people are great. I love working with people within those spaces. And those are probably who I would end up wanting to work with the most these days. Mavi Kartal 775. Are you planning on doing any live action battles? No. I'll be honest, I thought about it in the past and I've considered it, but honestly, I just can't get behind doing a live action battle this far into my series, so probably not. There will probably be some form of live action content on this channel that is not a battle, but that's still being fleshed out. It's not going to be like a skit or anything, but I have like ideas, you know. From Olivia Anna Faye, I believe I read that right. It's Olivia Anya Faye. Any comic characters you're interested in using, or just straight up aside from Mysterio? I also agree that Mysterio is so cool. Recently I've been thinking about Scarecrow, and I think that's another character that I've done a lot of research into, and I think I would love to play myself. You know, obviously I'd do better voice acting than what I did for Mysterio, because for Mysterio I kind of just went for like the theater kid vibes that I wanted to do, but for Scarecrow I'd have to really lock in for the voice acting, and that's something I'm interested in. Not sure when I'll get around to that. Probably not this season, but I do want to do something like that for the next season. I'm a rap battle writer. Do you have any advice for me? And this is coming from somebody named Uniquer Handle. My best advice is that you try to write by yourself as much as possible. It's great to work in groups, and it's something that I did for a long time after coming back to the community in 2020. But I think what you need to do to really improve your skills is write by yourself. And also, listen to much more music. I gave some good tips in one of my last videos on good music. You need to just listen to more hip-hop, you know? I think you need to look at that and, like, go back to your roots. Have you scrapped any battles? And if so, which ones do you regret scrapping? I was going to do Dora versus Columbus back in the day, and it never really finished. I was going to do the banana from Shovelware Brain Game versus the water cooler from Job Job. I think it's M Bubbles or something like that. I don't regret scrapping a lot of them. I think one that's kind of scrapped, but it's in like a state of limbo right now, is Jigsaw versus Big Rigs. And honestly, it's just because, you know, I don't know. It's nothing happened with it. It's kind of just lying there. And, you know, if I can get that battle funded someday, I'll probably finish it. But I got other priorities right now. Probably won't happen until like season 4 if I decide to go back to it. Have you invested in the S&P 500 yet? Okay. What made you start killing puppies? I was kind of bored, you know. I wasn't really doing a whole lot. And I was just invested in the process, if you catch my drift, you know. We're moving on to cats soon. Anyways, from Queen Cherry, what was your biggest inspiration? I can list out a couple. There's ERB, there's Uberosity, there's my dad, there's Kanye West, and then there's my friends. I have a lot of inspirations I draw from. But, you know, I think the biggest of all those is probably my dad, because I take a lot of my creative juices, you know, from him, because, you know, he was such a creative guy, and that's where I got a lot of my inspiration from. He showed me Weird Al when I was younger, and, you know, that's what kind of got me into writing stuff, is because I was very, like, interested in that kind of parody style, you know? From Lime Yellow 50588. I'm probably reading one of these wrong. If you don't notice, yeah, I have fucking terrible eyesight. I'm so sorry. Number 1, favorite battle. It's between a couple. I really like Eric Cartman versus Charlie Brown. I'm just gonna say it's a really hard question to answer, but that one is up there by Eddie FRB. 2, which nerdcore creator would you like to collab with on a future battle or cipher? I'm just going to toss some of these out there. Schwabity would be awesome. Honestly, I can just think Schwabity because I haven't worked with them yet, and I've worked with a lot of other people already, you know? And there's stuff that's like going on behind the scenes that I'm not going to show yet, but stuff is happening. Also, Dan Bull, Priest, those people are great. Which nerdcore creator would you like? I already read that question. Sorry, but on ciphers, honestly, same lineup. I'd like to get Lime King on a cipher. I'm already getting him like in like a battle, but I'd love to work with Lime King on a cipher. also Peso Pete, they are such a great like artist, and I want to see what they could do for a cipher of mine in the future. And I believe that's near the end of the questions. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end, and if you want to support me, there's my Ko-fi in my main channel connected links. There's also my Patreon, and I believe that is all. Goodbye.
I'll take the trophy cause I'm just this quicker. You got a Skylanders figure that looks disfigured.